City Wire episode 3 starting in about 13 minutes. Getting some coffee and we'll be live to watch, react, and talk about the game. What's up, gamers? Oh my gosh. We're here, Night City Wire, episode 3. Got about 2.5 minutes to go. How's everybody doing? So word is we're gonna get the PC specs today, and you're gonna talk about the different gangs that are in the game. Yeah, probably what I'm gonna learn is like, oh, you should have gotten a 3080, bruh. And then I'm gonna be like, there weren't any for us to buy, cause the bots got them all. The bots got them all. Mario All-Stars, huh? Hey, Raging Girl, how's it going? Doing well. Doing well. I'm excited. There's so many new game and console announcements, obviously. So we'll see what they say here.
Hello and welcome to Night City Wire
Ollie!
Episode 3, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to start by taking you on a tour of Night City in a new gameplay video and have a chat with senior level designer Miles. Then we're going to introduce you to the gangs of Night City in another new gameplay video and have a chat with Matayush from our quest team.
We didn't have
Then before we
audio.
finish today's episode, we're going to give you a look at some of the incredible finalists in our PC case modding contest. And we have some information that PC players have been waiting to hear. So let's get started. It's time to take you on a tour of Night City.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Juanita here. Today's news is Novamax.
Hi, Vin. New to Night City? It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
What?
Food. The Thai on 7th and Haywood. The pierogies down by the docks.
Our home, our pride. And as always, your business is my business.
And this is your World News Update.
They gonna have news in game that we'll watch? Because those all look like talk shows on TV. Maybe. Whoa.
Endless possibilities. And endless
That guy rolling up with shots to that stripper, he's like,
America. And
and I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has risen by 300%.
Crime
Jesus.
in Night City is
300%. What, did Trump get elected a third time? Jesus. Oh my gosh. It's terrifying.
You want to be some kind of hero.
That's a fight this city won't let you win.
On your own, you're fucked.
Fuck.
Well, on that note, that's it for today's Info Flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Night City. What does it mean to you? How well do you know its history? Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the NCART system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to these questions and more can be found at the address at the bottom of your screen. Check it out and fall in love with Night City all over again.
Nightcity.love. Gotta write it down.
Well, since Night City is one of our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City come to be? Because yes, it exists in the world of the tabletop, but how do you take that and make what we've got now?
Well, yeah, as you can imagine, making a city that is as big and complex as Night City is quite the ambitious project. First off, we sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way, Night City is the star of Cyberpunk, right? It is one of its main characters. We wanted to make a city that is very, very believable, right? I mean, the word immersion gets
We're listening in on
really, we wanted you to
Night
be able
City
to dive
episode
into it
3
and feel
talking
like
about
this is a real
Cyberpunk
place.
2077.
We also wanted to provide enough variety between districts so that exploring Night City would always be fun.
They're talking about the different
There's no
districts
point
in the city.
making a city that is all same. And, you know, it doesn't really matter where you go because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that, we first off started taking a look at the real-life geography that Night City is located on, and that would be on the coast of California. Knowing that Night City would be a coastal city gave us a bit of insight into what we would expect from the city layout.
It's like a station wagon.
You'd expect huge industrial areas that would facilitate this kind of trade that you would assume a city of this type would have with the world.
Look at all those
Then
cars.
we went through and actually divided the city into several districts, 6 of them, and some of them are based on the original lore. We decided to give their own
Look at that beer ad. Did you see that beer ad?
The demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts, in turn, we divided into further sub-districts, which we further characterized using the more grand theme of the larger district. This process, I think, has resulted in a city that feels quite alive, has a lot of character, where each district feels like its own distinct zone without feeling separated from the larger picture. And that results in something that allows the player to easily navigate even the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher. Can you give us some idea about, or some insight into just how big and like how densely packed Night City really is?
Yes, so I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that Night City is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is super organic, right? It's not like a chessboard layout, but the layout of the city is crazy, and you can tell that it grew in phases, right? Where buildings have been built on top of each other, and I guess the mega buildings that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that they are located on some kind of pillar you know, and then expand outside, and then up high into the sky, and underneath it you'll have space for other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration, and that's the one thing I'm most excited about for players to experience. We've been saying that our exploration is super vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore the city. Compared to our previous games, you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost on the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or you find an alleyway and you walk down one of the many, many alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's always a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and these are the moments that I often get surprised with, you even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, you know, different layers of the city, and it's quite astonishing sometimes to see where you come out when you enter one of these and, you know, find that, oh, this is actually
I'm hoping I can run it on PC. They're gonna drop the specs on us today.
And again, this all serves to
I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous now.
We all come to love from open world games, and the whole city is built to cater to that.
I mean, you guys have really brought Night City to life, and I really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing city. So as a level designer, can you give us some insight into those little touches that you guys have made? Because I hear you guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Rubbish. Yes. We've been placing quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage.
For sure.
But it's details such as this that we find really important to make the city feel alive.
Aliens kidnapped my wife, help me celebrate. That's what it said on that sign.
We have a lot of fun actually placing a lot of what we call mini stories, right? These are little encounters that you can find when you simply walk along the streets. Of course, we have huge quests, right? Side quests. We have lots of side activities that you can do. But it always is nice to just
The Witcher always had these really cool moments.
Take a look at your surroundings that we have so lovingly created, and try to see if there maybe isn't something that you can be a little detective for. Now, one other thing that I think is really, really cool is also the fact that we have actually named every single street in the city. So not only will NPCs be able to communicate their locations or the locations they want you to visit by sort of referring to the street names, but also you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to Poplar Street in Japantown, for example? And I think this is a small detail, but the philosophy that we have with these kind of things is
I like that.
You know, many, many small things contribute to the sum of it, which is hopefully then you being able to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game launches, you could be an official Night City tour guide instead, right?
I might be, yeah. You know, if this game dev thing doesn't work out for me, I might retire and become a tour guide in Night City.
Don't forget that if you are tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street to the Valentinos, it's time to introduce you to the gangs of Night City.
Wouldn't a divorce
you know how
be
things
simple?
work in Night City?
Oh my gosh.
The stronger survive. But that's how things stand. You're either somebody...
You just dropped quality on me. You stop that right now.
Didn't see in a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from home.
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title. Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Yeah, those guys look horrible.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm
Look
gonna
at that.
introduce
They don't even have
you to our
faces.
meat grinder. About time we had some fun!
Think Maelstrom never forgets? Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos. They follow God and Santa Madre. Honor means something to them.
Oh my
We
god.
started out together.
In the Valentinos?
No, in the fucking Bible book club.
The
I gotta give style
Valentinos.
points to the Valentinos. They have a punishment for every occasion.
Hey, say you in the wrong side of town, man.
Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo.
I can't wait to
Lately,
see
the
those
Valentinos
dudes.
and 6th
That's gonna
Street
be
have had
cool.
a bigger bone to pick.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
I can't fucking stand Tinos.
Fucking sucks.
I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up.
What are they, like rednecks?
Stop! Any more Second Amendment fans in the house, huh?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hate those bastards. Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day.
Yeah.
Time to bring on the future.
Any idea how many attacks from
Oh,
behind
the
Black
Voodoo
Wall
Boys.
will
Yeah,
neutralize
these
if
guys
the
look
Voodoo
cool.
Boys breach the Black Wall. We'll all be fucked.
Voodoo boys. Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other. No such gang.
You know, I heard a few things about you. Voodoo Boys, best runners in town.
You do not steal from the Voodoo Boys. I see you, always. For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest
Animal.
fucking thing
Oh,
in
these are the big buff. It's like the bodybuilders.
Break her skull!
Cybernetically enhanced.
Animals aren't the play here, are they? They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story, somebody fucked the corp. See how this works now?
My husband's new Westbrook. Very high in the tiger claws. They did what made the best eddies. Sold sex and black.
Yeah, we haven't seen much about them.
See a lot of tigers. They run this place.
No what
Tiger.
else they do well? Break the knees of people who ask questions.
We gotta do something.
Shut the fuck up.
The tigers will kill us.
Come on, baby.
Tiger claws killed one girl too many, so people took matters into their own hands.
Folk went ballistic. Girls, pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Think you're some kind of gang group now, huh?
Us Moxes have each other's back. We look out for one another. You looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the Mox?
I thought Susie and the gang could really change something in this city.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands. Not much going on out here, huh?
Au contraire. This is an ecosystem.
The
Nomads,
Badlands.
rapid shiv, corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove one part, the delicate balance topples.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Classic dilemma. What comes first? Family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
Interesting.
Mateusz, thank you so much for joining us. I have personally been really excited to give people a closer look at the gangs. We've shown a little bit on Twitter, but their styles are so distinct.
Yeah, I dig
enjoyed
it.
them a lot as well in their game. I think they're very
That's a lot of gangs,
But let's
too.
start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City.
Oh, they're not
correct?
just different
Yes,
colored
definitely.
people
The gangs,
standing around,
they
different
rule the streets
clothing.
of Night City. You know, they have the newest cyberware, they have the newest weaponry, and they are really a power that
Seem to be
everyone
real
needs
key
to take into
differences.
account when they are thinking of operating in Night City. You will encounter them as you explore the city, of course, but also as you complete main quests, side quests, different jobs for the fixers. Sometimes you might even get hired by them.
But then, I suppose everybody's thinking then, can you join a gang?
Well, V is a merc, and mercs of Night City are this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to themselves, right? And they get jobs from variety of factions. They can get jobs from corporations, they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust a merc to be one of them, right? And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the time, not just some of the times when it's profitable to them. So because of this, V will mostly stick to the Afterlife. And the Afterlife are this group of mercs, this legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you are going to the Afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then. So does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing for players to find and use?
Yes, definitely. There are different vehicles that you can drive, for example. There are cars, there are motorbikes. Then, of course, there are different pieces of clothing themed after gangs. There are weapons and so on. So, yeah.
I can wear fishnets.
I suppose as somebody who's spent as much time as you have kind of getting to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favorite and why?
So I would have to say probably Maelstrom, simply because they have this unique, distinct feel and this weird aesthetic about them. So the idea about Maelstrom is they are people who want to cross the boundary between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they are also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favorite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Your favorite gang says a lot about you.
But for now, before we wrap up today's episode, we asked people to show us their creativity and design a PC case mod, Cyberpunk style. Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists, and we teamed them up with professional case modders to bring their concept to reality.
These 5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC, along with other awesome gaming peripherals, brought to you by our partners, Alienware, Nvidia, and SteelSeries. Let's see the mods.
I absolutely love this one.
The whole aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level. Honestly, kind of terrifying.
Exactly the type of thing I would expect to find at a trade show.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
Wow. That's crazy. Ooh. Oh.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity auction, stay tuned to our social media channels. Looking at those PC case mods, it reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal. If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC when it launches this November, we do have some specs to share that I think some of you have been waiting for. The minimum system requirements for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD Radeon RX 470. In the storage department, the game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space, and although it will run off a HDD, we do recommend an SSD. As for the recommended specs, you're in the green if you're rocking Windows 10, an Intel Core i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon
R9 in, boys!
series.
We're in!
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Night City Wire.
I was a little worried there. I thought they were gonna hit us with like a 1080. Be like, you better have a 1080.
To our channels
I got a 1070,
and
so.
we will be back soon with episode 4.
Oh, okay. We're gonna be fine. Okay. That's a lot of stress gone. I was getting real worried. I was like, this is kind of like the biggest game of a generation or more. So it's kind of scary. All right, we'll shift off of that. Wait, they were just streaming the Twitch stream? Wow. Come on, guys. I didn't know they were going to be cussing that much. That was so funny. They were just like, you I said all nice things there, by the way. Not one cuss word. We're a clean stream. Except for when I get angry. Except for when I lose, because I'm a pro gamer. God. Let's see. Well, that was really cool about all the different gangs. I'm actually really excited to see, to meet them and just see how things go. I think that's really cool that they've sort of represented all the different, I don't know, just all these different gangs that we're familiar with now that we've seen in previous videos and stuff. You know, we're like, oh yeah, I remember those guys. They were in that video with the thing where we did the deal and then we shot that guy in the face, you know. Man, that is cool. And some of those PC builds look absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it's cool to check out the gangs. And finally get those specs. And yeah, it looked like, from what they were showing, it looked like they have like a newsreel or like talk shows and stuff. So I don't know if it's going to be anything like GTA and you're going to be able to, you know, watch TV and stuff like that. That could be really cool. That would really add a lot of immersion to the game when you have stuff like that. So what do we have up next? Let's take a look here. All right, so coming weeks, got a couple of things to look forward to, right? Let's see. I am getting Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but I insisted on purchasing a hard copy. So it's going to be a little bit before that comes in. I also ordered it kind of late because I wasn't sure if I was going to have time to fit in my schedule and, you know, get to a point where I could pick it up. And I was really worried about being able to afford the PS5 and the new graphics card, which I didn't manage to acquire. So we'll keep an eye out for those. But yeah, we'll be playing that next week. Let me see if I have a date on that. Because that'll probably be one of the more recent things here. That's gonna be next Thursday, 24th. Let me put that in our Okay, maybe I'll put it for the 25th because we don't know when it's going to arrive. I'll say September 25, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Birthday is tomorrow. Don't know if I'll be doing a stream or not, but I'll keep you guys posted. Because I know last year we did like a little just IRL stream, just did a little chat, little just chatting. The 22nd, stay tuned for that. Sometime that day, I might have a big surprise happening. I'm not sure what time though. Like I said, 25th, we'll be doing Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I think also next week, is Mafia? Yes. Yeah. So the Mafia remake that they've done for the original game, which came out in 2002, was it 2000? Something like that. The remake that they've done of that will be out. I'm gonna go ahead and pop that on. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. Whereas, alright, my copy and paste is just being an absolute jerk. Like I'll Control C and then time comes and I paste and it's like, oh, what are you doing, dude? Yeah, so we'll for sure be doing Mafia Definitive Edition. That'll be exciting. Cause that is the best Mafia game, I have to say. The original had an amazing story, even though its gameplay may have not been the most accessible, because I know for a long time it was PC only, and it was several years before they even got around to porting it over to consoles. And when they did, it was on the original Xbox. It was on PS2. I'm not sure. I don't think it came to GameCube. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was a little too adult for the GameCube. Even though we did have some pretty adult games there. Then after that, really, I don't have anything on the agenda until October. Amnesia, there's a new Amnesia horror game, Amnesia Rebirth, coming out October 20th. Watch Dogs Legion on the 29th, which, if you get a new GPU, they've been bundling Watch Dogs Legion with that, so I would actually... That would actually get me to play Watch Dogs Legion, is if I didn't have to actually pay for it. Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope, that's the second game in their anthology. That's the makers of Until Dawn. That's October 30th. Destiny 2 Beyond Light on the 10th of November. And Xbox Series X on 10th of November. But as far as I know, I'm not going to be getting one. PlayStation 5, November 12th. Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I got the Ultimate Edition that comes with the Spider-Man Remaster. That's on November 12th as well. Demon's Souls, also on November 12th. I've ordered those three things all together. So the PlayStation 5, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Demon's Souls, they should all arrive in the same box. And as soon as I get it, hopefully sometime on the 12th, we'll probably just chill and wait for that to arrive. And as soon as I get it, we'll do like an unboxing and all that. And plug everything up, get things updated, and we'll go live. Cyberpunk is November 19th, so that's actually after next-gen console launches and stuff. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake is the only game we have slated for 2021 because they've given us a definitive date of January 13th, so I'm hyped about that. The only other two games we haven't heard about is Halo Infinite. That's sometime 2021. And Empire of Sin was supposed to be sometime... It's been in the dark for a long time. But that was meant to be... What is it? It's a Mafia-style... top-down... I don't want to call it like a strategy type game. But maybe that's the most appropriate. Yeah, I think like Age of Empires and whatnot, Civilization, all that type of stuff. I don't know. More Age of Empires. But yeah, that's kind of what all is on the horizon. And that's kind of my bad for ordering Super Mario 3D All-Stars so late, but and also I was fretting over I should just get it digital so I could play it now. I was like, I'm not in that much of a hurry, and I'd rather have that little cartridge. So that would be really cool. Also October 29th, The World of Cyberpunk 2077, I'll be getting that book. So we might talk a little bit about that at a later date. I'm excited about that. Let me see if there's anything else, any other housekeeping we have to talk about here. I guess we'll get right over into Avengers. See, I got the PC version into the end game portion of the game. I wasn't able to stream that final mission that we did on the PlayStation 4, which, if you guys remember, it was running really rough on the PS4. Like, lots of frame drops, lots of artifacts, lots of, sort of just like almost freezes. Like, not really freezes, but there was so much happening that it slowed the game down, like, physically. So, it was rough. It was not how you would expect a AAA experience to go. But when I was playing it on my PC, I wasn't recording or live streaming it. It actually ran really well. So that's good news. It wouldn't have run well if I had been recording it. I'm guessing, the poor optimization of the game coupled with, it shouldn't be this way, but the 1070 should be enough to handle that and stream, because it works for literally so many other higher performance games than Avengers, which same thing with Cyberpunk. Like, Cyberpunk is even at the same, about the same spec, maybe a little higher than Avengers, but it's at that same level, and it's probably going to run just fine. Mostly because CD Projekt Red will hopefully not let us down when it comes to optimization. They know how big of a deal this is. Whereas I thought Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix, the publisher, I didn't think they'd let something like this come out the gates. But they did. Something that could have used more polish. Okay, so let's get the PlayStation going. See here. But I'm excited. That turned on, ready to go. And started a little early today. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick reset. Be right back in just a moment.